What's up guys, this is BasiiL and you're watching Factory 78. Been in London since for the past 6 days now.
So where is the site that you visited so far? Your experience?
We've visited lots of places actually, you know.
Do you have any name?
I don't know, I can't remember the names, but
Big Ben area.
yes, we've seen Big Ben, the Piccadilly, yes, you know, and a couple of places, but those are the ones I can remember.
Stepping in the party last night and I see fine girl. I tell her me I like
Yeah, how did I feel when my management told me I was coming to London? Yeah, I was very excited, you know, because you know I've never actually been outside of Nigeria before. So when I got the info that I was coming to London, I was actually very, very excited, and you know I was looking forward to doing a lot of things here. You know, we're going to be doing lots of stuff here, but you know I'm very excited towards that.
So what's the plan of visiting?
Visiting?
Yeah, the plans.
You know, mostly you know to you know the culture. You know, coming here to enjoy the culture, but then it's mostly business. You know, and getting better at my music. I'll be working with lots of producers here, and you know, so far so good. It's looking good, and we're going to be doing lots of stuff.
Any producers you've met so far?
We've not met anyone yet.
Okay.
We've not met any producer yet, but we're supposed to meet one yesterday. But you know,
I think I saw it with the Four Corners. Is that what it's named?
yeah, Four Corners is actually a DJ in Canada. Yes.
She feeling my vibe, my vibe. I tell her follow me go, she telling me say she no go.
Yeah, one of the earliest moments of my career as a musician that you know pushed me towards this trajectory is you know me being in church and actually singing, and you know people responding to my music. I felt like that was it for me, and that was what made me believe in myself and was like, okay, this is what I'll be doing this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So you know that's you know being in church, and you know then you know after that you know meeting Bankulli, that one was like a huge, you know. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. You know, first I was born in Surulere. You know, I grew up there till I was like 5, and then 2009 then I left. We moved to Igondo. Growing up was very, very interesting for me because you know I was very playful. I was stubborn, and so I always engaged in many activities when I was a kid. And you know, lots of memories from when I was a kid. You know, I think that childhood stuff, you know, really just went down a bit when I started to sing. I started to go for rehearsal, and I stopped playing, and I started doing music, and music was it for me.
Pansham anywhere me day, if I catch I go. Even if not gonna me, I go. Pansham, I no go look anybody I go.
Yeah, mostly the love of music came from, you know, church, you know, singing in church. And you know, I was attending the Radiant Church at the time. That was the first church I sang. I was 8 at the time, and you know, see, that was where the love of music started for me. You know, my sister too. My sister made me love music because you know she used to play lots of music for me, CDs, and then at the time it was mostly gospel music.
So you met CDs?
Yeah.
Do you met cassette as well?
Yeah, I met CDs.
Wow.
I be bad guy, me I no feel leave, me I no data, yeah. Oh, and if
the artists I was listening to were mostly gospel singers: J Moss, you know, Detrick Haddon, you know, Ty Tribbett. Those are like the inspiration at the time. So I used to listen to many gospel music, even Kim Burrell. There are lots of names, but those are the ones I can remember.
What about R&B? Okay, who are the new breed of R&B that you listen to? Do you listen to R&B as well?
Yeah, I listen to R&B music. You know, I listen to lots of R&B music. The top dog right now would be Chris Brown. You know, Chris Brown has inspired lots of artists like me, and you know R&B artists like me too. So Chris Brown, you know, there are lots of names. There's Khalid. There's many. You know, those are the ones I can actually remember right now.
go look anybody I go. Who if I see him I go pansham.
So it was May 2022 when Bankulli you know, DM'd me on Instagram. And, you know, before then I posted like a cover of me doing a song. And then when he saw it, he DM'd me, and then he asked me. He actually asked me where I lived at the time. I was living in Igondo, and I told him. And so since then, we were talking back and forth. But we still didn't meet until like almost like 6 months later. But then it was when I met him was May 2022.
I tell her say me a deadly I be bad guy. Me I no feel leave and me I no dey tire. And if I
The conversation, like I said, he asked me where I lived, and he tried to get to know me, as a person, and we got to talk, and we were trying to develop some kind of relationship, and then that's where it all started. So that we didn't have our first studio session until 6 months later that year.
Okay.
And then it was a great one, and then we really started fully early this year, 2023.
Pansham, I no go look anybody I go. Who if I see him I go Pansham. Anywhere me day, if I catch him I go.
Yeah, meeting lots of these artists, industry legends, and I've met lots of them, and they've given me lots of advices, many of them. But one that stands out for me was meeting Flavor, and the kind of personality that he is. He advised me a lot, gave me a lot of advice, and that's the one that that I remember, that I can that really sticks, and
Yeah,
there's so many advices that I've gotten.
I've seen in a session with
Yes, a session with Flavor. Yeah,
a lot of time.
We actually spoke for like 2 hours.
First time?
Yes, and for someone like Flavor to speak for 2 hours, he's a very busy man, and he spoke to me for 2 hours, and that was that was good for me. Mind blowing.
Follow me go, she telling me say she no go. I tell her say me.
I've learned a lot of things from Bankulli so far. Lots of things. Mostly people don't know the music side of him yet. He's actually a sound singer. Mostly the music side. Learned a lot from him musically, and he has taught me a lot. And even that, things I've learned from him over the past 6 months, that has changed my life.
So and what?
He's been grooming me on how the industry works, and grooming me even as a person is more than just music and more than business, but as a person too. I feel like I've grown, and he has taught me some values and morals that have helped my life as a person too.
Follow me go, she telling me say she no go. I tell her say me a deadly I be bad guy. Me I no.
I think the one is you must be like 10 steps ahead. You must always be a step ahead of everybody, because him as a person, he's like a machine. Nobody knows. People know, obviously, because he's always exuding that energy, and he's like, to work with him is, you have to be mentally, you have to be physically, you have to be ready, and 100%. You have to give your 100%. And one thing I've learned from him is talking about how excellent you must be whenever you're doing something. It has to be perfect. It has to be near perfect. So it's always that excellent attitude.
I no go look anybody I go. Who somebody pray.
Yes, before Bankulli signed me, I was really just on Instagram. So I just kept posting. A couple of people tried to want to sign me up, but I felt like
Who other people that reached out to you? Any other industry powers that reached out to you?
To be signed? Not just
to have you, or just
to have
you.
There's not a lot of them, but then there are a few names that I
just individual.
Individual, yeah.
You're not like important people in the industry.
It's actually, the one name is I don't want to mention the name, but I just. But there were some of them, but I just held a bit, and then Bankulli came. I felt like that was the right choice.
Oh, mommy, pray for me. Bad girl want kiss somebody. She want on me to nobody.
I wouldn't say it's fast. I'd say it's the grace of God and God's grace. I'm not scared now. Now I'm ready. I'm not scared at all.
To battle the industry.
Exactly, and with the help of Bankulli Entertainment, I feel like I'm ready to take on.
Girl want kiss somebody, she want me to know.
Yeah, mostly if you check my Instagram page, there's lots of things to look out for there. You can literally see me there. I go live every time. I post a lot. Twice, 3 times a day. Because one thing about that Bankulli has taught me is you must always post. That's how you grow your Instagram and your social media page. And since let's say January till now, I've grown massively on social media, and that's good for my music and my career.
Do you also reply to DMs when people reach out to you, like maybe fans or whatever?
Yeah, I reply some DMs, some, not all, because there are lots of them. But I just reply some. But I take note of everything that people say, but it doesn't really matter. Not everything matters.
Kiss somebody, she want me to nobody, I only Jaffit.
Early this year, around January, I had just 3,000 followers on Instagram, and that was because there weren't really much to post at the time. I didn't really have so much stuff going on in my life at the time, but I was always still posting. But then when I met Bankulli and my life started to take off, and I was always engaged every time, and there were lots of things to post. But mostly social media is really about the content you post, whether good or bad. You grow as long as people like good stuff, bad stuff, but you have to just keep posting good content. And
what's your number saying now?
It's almost on 60K on Instagram. Yeah, so that's even on all social media platforms. So there, Facebook is growing, Twitter, TikTok. Even though TikTok is very tricky, but my TikTok is growing and I'm seeing it.
And if I see him, I go pansham anywhere meet.
Who inspires me? I wouldn't really say there's one artist anyway. But if I could mention one, I would say Kanye West. Kanye West is like my biggest inspiration as a musician.
Name one Kanye West song that you like.
There's so many. Let me just. There's one Pure Souls on his Donda album. 2 words is the name of another song from his first album. There's Through the Wire.
You remember a line?
I remember all the lines.
Give me Through the Wire.
Through the wire, through the limit, through the wall. For a chance to be with you, I gotta risk it all.
Even if not gonna me, I go pansham. I no go look anybody, I go, somebody pray for me.
Actually, this is 2023. I dropped my album July 21st. My EP, sorry. My EP on the 21st. And since then, I'm getting lots of good reactions, but there'll still be more from me. There's a lot of stuff that I'll be putting out, music, content, many stuff that I feel like people would like and people will be looking out for. But I would say I'm here to stay in the industry, so there will be more to come.
And if I see him, I go pansham anywhere me day, fakachamago. Even if not gonna me.
Yes, yeah. Afrobeats is really on the rise now. Afrobeats is no longer competing against itself, but against the world. So, now that you can look at Rema Calm Down now, and that is doing massive numbers, and that's because it has a global appeal, and so I feel like my music has the same thing, same energy. Yeah.
Pray for me, bad girl want kiss somebody, she want me to nobody.
Yeah, one of the things that I would say, it's really social media. One thing that has changed over the past couple of years is the medium of social media, and how artists like me have used social media to get better at their career, and so that's one thing that I think younger artists have capitalized on. Like look at TikTok, people just blow up on TikTok, artists blow up on TikTok. Just one viral video can make you become a star. People don't know CK's 1TT really blew up on TikTok before it took off. So it was on TikTok, they had like a dance challenge, and I feel like without the dance and maybe it wouldn't have blown up without TikTok. Yeah, TikTok helped the song grow.
Want on me to nobody, I only Jaffe to say me, yeah.
Sound, how we've been able to adapt to sound, especially in the Afrobeat scene. Even not just me, and I mean other artists. Look at Amapiano now on the rise, and I'm sure people thought Amapiano was going to be like this, but I never really thought of that. I don't really listen to so many Amapiano songs, but as an artist, you need to have that sort of element in your sound too. If they give you an Amapiano beat, are you able to? So I feel it's for artists, it's all about approach and how you approach different sounds. But I'm a piano. If I have an Amapiano song, I have several Amapiano songs, and just because it's on the rise, you have to try to. Some people are trying to play catch up with the sound, but I mean, you have as an artist, you have to be versatile and you have to be able to adapt to any type of sound. Any type.
I be bad guy, me I no feel leave, me I no dey tire. And if I see him, I go punch him anywhere me dey.
I mean, the radio I've been playing my music a lot, but I've been mostly seeing the retweets on Twitter. But the first time I did, I was in an Uber and I was heading towards I was going somewhere, and then I just heard a vibration on the radio. I'm like, bro, I think I'm blowing up. And that was that was a very great moment for me, because when I started the year, I didn't even have one song yet.
Anyone with you at that time, like in the car with you?
It was just me and the Uber guy. I was like, bro, this is my song. This is my song. I think I even have the recording on my phone, and yeah. So, and that was a huge moment for me, because when I started this year, I didn't have one song. And I feel like I don't think I knew where music was going for me, but then thanks to Bankulli and Bankulli Entertainment for helping me and taking my talent and taking it into something big, and I'm grateful for that. And
not only Jaffe to save me, yeah. Oh mommy, pray for me.
Yeah, it's been easy. Bankulli used to tell me a story of how, when he wanted to, if he wants to promote an album or a song, you have to go to Alaba, and you have to walk. You have to do a leg walk. You have to, but now you just some rappers most rappers in the US in 2014, 15 were blowing up on SoundCloud, and SoundCloud was the thing then. Now Spotify, Apple Music, Boomplay, Audiomack is really especially for Afrobeats, Audiomack is where artists blow up. And streaming has those medium, those has helped music itself, and you're just one click away from hearing any song. Before it used to be CDs. Thank God we've moved from there.
Me I no feel leave, me I no dey tire. And if I
one thing I've learned about putting out music is you have to analyze your audience and analyze the space you're in. And one thing that Bankulli has taught me is, when I was putting out my first song, Vibration, I wanted to put out a very slow jam, and he was like, bro, this is June, we're heading towards summer, and you have to put out the fast jams. And he was right, because the how people reacted to Vibration was great. People loved it. People loved the jam, and it was a fast jam. They were playing in clubs, playing it everywhere, and so that's added knowledge for me, and I've learned how to put out songs. Yeah, my EP, I Know I Am, that word was coined from Alex Ferguson. Not many people know. It's at the end of his book, his autobiography, he said, I know I am. And I read it, I probably read it when I was 14, and I was just, that was my favorite quote at the time. If you check my graduation book, the stuff where they put your favorite quote, it was I know I am, that was there. So that word has literally been like a drive for me personally. And so when I was just my first EP, I'm like, this because I was really confident about the songs on the EP, and I'm like, I just gave it the name, and I told Bankulli, and it's like, yeah, we should use it.
It's a 5 strong song. EP?
Yeah, 6 songs.
1, 2, 3, 4, Come Alive,
Yes.
Vibration, Falling,
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
Bad Girl. Which one is it?
And Taboo.
I be bad guy, me I no feel live, me I no dey tire.
Yeah, Come Alive. Come Alive featuring Four Corners. That song has a very funny story to it. But I'm going to start from the fact that I wrote the chorus before I even heard the beat. So I had the chorus somewhere lying in my book. So, because when I write, I use pen. I know some Gen Zs use their phone these days. But sometimes I use the phone, but I mostly write it down because I think that's better. And Bankulli told me.
Good writing then. Actually, writing.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, so Bankulli told me he was in the studio one time and in studio, I think in US, and he was with ATG Music. They're actually supposed to be working with another artist, and then they played the Come Alive beat for the artist, and the artist was like, nah, I'm on the vibe, and he was like, and he said he just looked at ATG and like, forward that beat to me, and he really forwarded it to him. He just sent it to me, and I wrote it, and we recorded it with 14s. Shout out to 14s. And
Vibration.
Yes.
Vibrating.
Vibration, yes, Vibration. Shout out to 14s who created the beat. The inspiration for Vibration was literally when I heard the beat. Immediately I heard the beat, it was catchy, and I was like, bro, I need this beat. Immediately sent it to me. I was like, bro, this beat is fire. We need to record it immediately. And so we got into the studio. The vibe was right in the studio, and we just recorded it was hard recording the song because it was not a very easy song to approach. It had to be perfect. I felt like my delivery on the song.
What do you start with?
Because when I write, if I hear a new beat and I have to start from the verse. Okay. So I started from the verse down to the chorus. But the hard part was the mo fe jaye ori mi. That part, right? Yes, that was we're trying to look for the perfect hook to put on the song, and I felt like that was the perfect hook. That was very people loved that hook because it was catchy. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was like that was like a pre-chorus. Will Blaine, yeah, he helped me with that part, and.
Falling. Who's falling? Hope you're not falling.
Falling. Yeah, that's a very interesting song. An interesting story behind it too. Falling was the first song I ever wrote as an artist. That was the first song. And why I wrote Falling was I was trying to impress Bankulli. So he asked me, do I write? And at the time I've never written any song before in my life. Okay. And when he immediately asked me, do you write? I said a little, and that was a lie. I've never written any song before. It's because I didn't want him to be like, bro, this guy doesn't write. So I just immediately after we ended that conversation, I went, bro, I need to start writing, because it's like it's about to get real. And then I wrote Falling, and Falling was.
That from Kanye West?
That's a different one. Shout out to Kanye West.
Bad Girl, though.
Bad Girl. That song.
I
think we wrote that song like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. That was the time. I was actually tired, but then we're still in the studio, and I was with my writer, 4 teams, and even Bankulli was in the studio. But then, yeah.
So what are you thinking about? I mean, like, when you write
one thing about, mostly Afrobeats, it's really the beats. And in the end, it tells you where to go. It tells you what to do. And immediately you hear the beats. It's not like other songs. It's not like other R&B songs. You can just write. And, you can just write before you even hit the studio. For me, Afrobeats, when you hear the beats, that's where you have to kill it on the spot. You don't go calm because the inspiration might go. So for me, it was about the beats. Immediately I heard the beats and we were just vibing. So the right vibe was coming.
What's the line? What's the first line that came into your mind?
I can't remember, but we were using a couple of lines. But immediately Immediately we just started stepping in the part, and like, nah, we should do this. We should use this. This is the, because that was that. I think that entrance was a very good entrance, and even the pre-chorus.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's first line like?
Stepping in the party last night, and I see fine girl.
Mm.
I tell her me I like
Good.
and she feel.
Taboo.
Yes, taboo.
Yeah.
Interesting
Okay,
song.
one of the songs feature Camido, right? Which one?
Yes, Falling featuring Camido, and shout out to Camido, you know, for that fire verse. That verse was fire.
How did you get Camido on this journey?
That collaboration was actually a surprise for me. Bankulli surprised me. So we already had the full version, the original version, and I thought we were going to put out the original version. And then one day in the studio, he said,
Is this more like a remix? Or?
It's not a remix, it's actually, and he said, I'm trying to put Camido on the song. Like, Camido is big, Camido is big, and he said it jokingly, but so the next time I met him in the studio, he just played it, Camido.
What's the difference between writing an R&B song and Afrobeat song? What's the difference?
Like I said, writing Afrobeat song is really the vibe of the beat, the groove. That's what moves you to know what to say. You know, basically, music has its own message, and you know, you can hear strings, you can hear keyboard, and the keyboard will say. If you hear keyboards and you hear some particular type of licks on the keyboard, you know, you cannot say something about. You cannot say bad girl on that kind of beat. So it's music passes its own message, and you know, when you hear a beat as an artist, you should know what to say. You should know what direction to go. So just imagine Your Mayor now as a song. Let's imagine somebody sang a love song on it. Do you think it's still be good? So it could still be good, still be perfect, but it won't connect to you like it should. And that's one thing about Afrobeats.
Even if not gonna me, I see him, I go pansham. I no go look anybody, I go.
Like I said, more to come, more music, more breakthroughs in Jesus' name, because there will be lots of things to look out for from BasiiL. I'll always be, you always find me on your Insta feed. You always find me somewhere. Music, you would hear my music somewhere, because that's how I'm trying to put myself out there as a new artist. And
like in the future right now, who would like to collaborate with in Nigeria on the top dog?
Nigeria.
Who do you listen to out there? Who would like to collaborate with?
Yeah, like I said, I have many inspiration. I'd say I like Rema, you know, I like Davido, I like Wizkid, I like Drake, I love Kanye West. You know, those are the top dogs. If I had a dream collaboration, it would be Kanye West. Let me just even sing the hook, and you know, that's you know. But one in Nigeria that I would love to, that I feel like will make something huge, is Rema. Rema is one artist I would love to collaborate with.
This record behind you, this record is a lot of violence.
Yeah.
Who do you think would have loved to have Rema?
This I feel, you know, Calm Down is blowing up now. I never thought Calm Down would be the biggest song on the album.
Oh, okay.
Because there were so many good songs on that album. I'm like, bro, Calm Down of all songs, man. Because it got to a point I used to skip Calm Down anytime I was listening to the album.
Why? It's too popish?
Eh?
Is it too pop-ish for you?
No, it's not too popish. I love the song. But you know, there were other songs that I was itching to listen to. Because I listened to the album. I listened to it over 100 times. Because Rema, I listened to Rema a lot last year. And, you know, because I was hearing other songs like, you know, there's Dirty, there's Mara, there's Runaway, there's Divine, there's Fine featuring Tracy. And like, those are the songs that I love. There's even Time and Affection featuring Chris Brown. I feel like people overlooked that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And you know, when Calm Down was playing, I was like, wow, this is how it works. And I don't even think Rema himself would have thought that was going to be his biggest song.
Sure. So,
Yeah.
BasiiL, how can people reach out to your social media and all that?
Yes, BasiiL on social media on Instagram at BasiiL_hope. BASIIL, on Twitter at BASIIL23, on TikTok at BASIIL18, and on YouTube, BasiiL BASIIL. And that's where you can find me.
With the interview, what do you like people to take out of from this interview that we just wrap up right now?
Yeah, Factory 78 interview. I was looking forward to it, because shout out to Factory 78 for always supporting my journey. And, I feel every time I do an interview, it's like just for people to get to know what I am, what I'm like, get to know me as a person. And so that's what interviews are.